Welcome back to AFL Tonight. I'm Julian De Stoop. Now, one man that's glad the second half of the year is nearly upon us is Collingwood's Taylor Adams. Taylor, great to see you in the studio. Now, what happened? A couple of weeks ago, you were pushing for selection, then suddenly you're out for another couple of weeks. Yeah,
I was, Jules. I was really close to getting back for that Sydney game a fortnight ago. And I'd been pretty public and honest about my return to playing, and unfortunately was out training and got caught in an awkward position whilst being tackled and tore some scar tissue in my adductor again, and just a little setback. Back running and training pretty hard now, and I'll come back after the bye.
Coming off such a great year for yourself personally and as a team, you must be bloody frustrated.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, obviously with the finger as well as the groin now. Can't really take a trick, but it is what it is. Plenty of footy still to play, and obviously the pointy end of the season's coming up pretty quickly. So I'm looking forward to getting out there with the boys and enjoying that second half.
You guys had a run around today. How's Brody Grundy coming along?
Yeah, he was just on light duties today. We've got another main training session coming up in the week, and he pulled up pretty well with that ankle. Obviously, we all held our breath as he limped off the ground, but he'll be fine for this week. I
want to ask you about the team's form. Probably up until the weekend, everyone's saying Collingwood's not playing their best, but they're getting it done, and that's a good sign. Now that you lose, everyone says that loss was coming. It was always coming. How do you sort of look at it? Where's the truth in there?
Oh, well, the games that we'd won, we'd earned the wins. We'd played better than the opposition for long enough. On the weekend, that was vice versa. We were outplayed by a really competitive team in Fremantle. Beating around the ball, beating in contested possession and ground ball, and we had a chance to steal the game towards the end of that fourth quarter, and they did a great job of closing out the game. Obviously, Walter's pretty clutch in that moment, but yeah, I think all games you earn the wins, and we've done that throughout the year.
Score review. A little tweet from you on Sunday after watching the West Coast Bulldogs game. Yeah. Technical issues again, you tweeted, but how do you seriously feel about the system?
Oh, well, it's a little bit grey at the moment, isn't it? They clearly got two wrong on the weekend, and if that's a minute to go in a final, that's what I'm concerned about. If the system does fail us with a minute to go in a big final or a grand final, and a team is cost is the game is judged upon a wrong decision. It's something that we don't want to happen, so hopefully they can fix it up before the serious stuff comes around.
So do we put it away and fix it first, or just keep going and just make sure you get it right?
No, I think surely the AFL have got the people in place to make sure that it works this week. I would be very surprised if we went out this week and the same issue happened again. So I'd imagine I'd like to see the score review happen so that we get 100% of decisions right, and hopefully this weekend we see an improvement.
Everyone was talking about it on the weekend. Do the players talk about these sort of things?
Not really. My tweet was more tongue-in-cheek. Obviously it was pretty comical that it happened twice in 24 hours, and I can imagine poor Steve Hocking sitting there and being pretty upset about the situation. But no, as players, we knew that certainly didn't cost us a game. There was 3 quarters to go in the game, for us to rectify that, and I imagine most clubs are pretty similar.
Dane Beams, he's playing pretty well, but probably hasn't returned to his best form yet. Is it taking him a little bit longer to settle in and get used to the way you guys are playing?
Yeah, and I felt that when I come down from the Giants to play at Collingwood. It's really difficult to recapture the way that your teammates play. And he's still feeling his way around the footy club and making sure that he's feeling comfortable out there playing with the boys. Our system's obviously really different to what Brisbane were playing. His role's different, inside our midfield. So, yeah, I'm under no illusions that he's going to be a good player come finals time.
Jordan McKenzie, how fit is he at the moment? He just always seems to have a knock or two.
Yeah, no, I think he's all right. We don't need him to be flying at this time of year at the moment. He's got 8 weeks or so to get himself into tip-top shape. Obviously, juggling those injuries means you can't train as much as you would like, but he performs pretty well on the weekends, and we're really happy with his output.
What's he like over the summer? Matthew Lloyd said the other day he gets a feeling he probably doesn't train as hard or as diligent as a Scott Pendlebury. Is that an area he needs to work on, or is he getting the best out of himself physically?
Yeah, well, I'd hate to see all players be judged against Pendles. He's as good as you're going to find, and Jordie's found a way that works for him. Not every player, spends 24/7 thinking about football, and Swanee was one that comes to mind automatically. That was a guy that got the best out of himself doing it his way, and Jordie does the same thing. I'm really confident that Jordie cares enough about his football that he'll get the most out of himself. And yeah, I'd be very surprised that anyone questioned Jordie's output the second half of the year last year. So yeah, again, I'm really confident in the way that he goes about his footy.
If you had to rate yourself, are you closer to Pendles or closer to Swanee?
No, I'm definitely closer to Pendles. Yeah, I get anxious if I don't prepare as well as I possibly can. But it works differently for each player, and we're embracing that as a footy club, making sure that guys feel comfortable doing what they think works. Obviously, there's a fine line there. There's certain things you have to do, but yeah, we encourage guys to bring their own flair to the game.
When you're injured, are you anxious? Do you get anxious about it? You've got a lot of depth at Collingwood. You've missed a lot of footy.
Yeah.
You've got a good side.
Yeah.
And a chance to win a flag. Do you get anxious around your injuries?
I don't deal with rehab really well, and you could ask 99% of the people at the footy club and they would agree with that statement. I just struggle with the fact that I can't go out there on the weekend and do what I love doing with my teammates, and that's what I find really difficult. But at the same time, there's so much support around the footy club now, and I imagine most footy clubs are the same. Being in rehab is never fun. It's a lot of hard work that goes unnoticed at times. But yeah, I think obviously after my setback, I've sort of taken a breath. I've set myself for post-bye, and I'm looking forward to getting back and retaining my spot inside.
Tell me about Justin Longmuir. Everyone that's come across him at Collingwood raves about his knowledge and what he knows about the game. Is he a guy that you can see stepping in to be a senior coach pretty soon?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what he's aspiring to do. He's a high value guy at our footy club. He's come over from a really good system in West Coast and over in Perth, and worked under Adam Simpson, who's obviously now a premiership coach. And Long, he's a guy that understands the modern footballer. He's not one to rant and rave. He's very methodical about his coaching, and he creates really great relationships with his players. And he's getting the most out of our backline, which is, we've performed really well down back this year. And Justin's in charge of our team defence, which is something we pride ourselves on, and every player has to buy into that to play at Collingwood. And yeah, I think our brand of footy has improved since he's arrived at the club. And
just finally, how's the bye look for you, given you're pushing to come back from injury?
Yeah, a little bit different. I did have a plan booked up in Byron Bay, which had to change the plans there. So I'll train through the bye now and push for selection maybe the week or 2 weeks after the bye.
Well, Taylor, great to see you, and we look forward to seeing you back out there in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Jules.